Well, good morning, my fellow Zenites. Did you check your Pzen wallet balance with your coffee this morning? Before we even start, let's get the sound going. Now, so for those who have just joined, welcome. Conrad Zen, former Bitcoin Foundation member and now evangelist for Pzen. And I was just saying, did you check your Pzen wallet balance with your coffee this morning? Well, it's rum o'clock here, so Slanjivar. Headline news this morning is, of course, a continuing debacle of the fall of FTX Alameda and Sam Bankman-Fried. And if you didn't know, just the other day, there was a Senate hearing to try and find out exactly what happened. But the interesting thing was who they asked to testify at that hearing. And of course, we had our good old friend, Mr. Wonderful himself, Kevin O'Leary, talking a complete load of nonsense. And this is the witness that the Senate hearing wanted to hear from. Let's just listen again and remind ourselves of what he actually said.
Why do you believe FTX failed?
I have an opinion. I don't have the records. Here it is. These two behemoths that own the unregulated market together and grew these incredible businesses in terms of growth were at war with each other. And one put the other out of business intentionally. Now, maybe there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe there's nothing wrong with love and war. But finance is a massive, unregulated, global monopoly now. They put FTX out of business.
I think the thing to really understand about all this nonsense is that nobody works alone. And, you know, you have to ask yourself, where were the adults in the room when Sam No Bank Fraudman was asking for money? I mean, you know, Sequoia Capital, Temasek, the fund of the Singapore, sovereign fund, and even SoftBank, they are the guys that set Sam up in the first place. They are the ones that promoted his credulity because, if somebody like Sequoia Capital invests in you, everybody wants a piece of the action without any due diligence. Look, this is exactly what happened with Bernie Madoff back in the day. A lot of people worked out that what he was doing was impossible. He couldn't be making those returns. And people wrote to the SEC with compelling evidence for years before they were forced and compelled to act. And even then, they didn't actually act because he was already indicted by the FBI before they even came out and said anything about it. We're living in a rotten system. There is no question about that. And right now, there has never been such a gap in the levels between the people who have and the people who have not. The system is designed to make the rich richer and the poor poorer. But there is a way out. And Pzen is that. Pzen is a networked economy. It's a alternative economy to the rotten fiat system that we are all in at the moment. If you look back in history, we're living in a very unique time where the US dollar is the reserve currency of the world and everybody is sort of transacting only in US dollars for commodities. Well, that may change. It wasn't that long ago that we had 3,000 different currencies in the United States, for example. So a lot of people are saying, well, where does Pzen generate its yield from? Well, it's quite simple. A lot of people have compared all cryptocurrencies to Ponzi schemes, and maybe some are. But the definition of a Ponzi scheme is where they offer you ridiculously high yields, and they simply do not have the money to pay for it. Well, Pzen always has the money to pay your yield by the design of the code. Don't forget, you're dealing with DeFi, decentralized finance. There is nobody to trust. You are only dealing with the code. That is the beauty and the promise of decentralized finance. And I'll remind you again, all the terrible headlines that have been advanced by the mainstream media are all about centralized finance. They're all about guys who are from the traditional finance world who are just using cryptocurrencies and using the same techniques and scams to steal everybody's money. So it's no wonder that the names of Bernie Madoff, Enron keep popping up, Ponzi schemes. This is centralized finance. It's not decentralized finance. There is a major difference. So I urge you to do your own research and make sure that you understand that you do have a way out. And even in this crypto bear market, we are seeing Pzen holding up. We're seeing Pzen doing what it says on the tin, paying trustless yield. Every single transaction. It is compound interest on steroids. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world, not the third wonder of the world. And, you know, it behoves everybody to understand what this opportunity is. So here we go again.
In these tumultuous economic times, it seems harder and harder to get ahead. Even though you have made all the right financial decisions, it's never enough. The problem is not you, it's the system. You see, the system is designed to make the rich richer and the poor poorer. The only solution is to break free from this system. Today, you can join a new, growing economy and finally get ahead. This economy is built around a socially engineered token called Pzen, which is designed to redistribute wealth. The truth is that there is no scarcity of wealth. We just need a better redistribution system. Pzen harnesses the power of the eighth wonder of the world, compounding interest. Simply buy and hold Pzen in your wallet, and after each transaction made across the network, your token balance goes up. This is thanks to the Pay It Forward deduction, which takes 2% of every transaction and distributes it equitably to all Pzen holders. No one is coming to save you. This is the way out, but you need to do the work. You have to get educated. You have to take a leap of faith. You have to join the new economy to secure your financial future. Take control of your finances with Pzen.
So there we have it. That is 100% true DeFi, 100% trustless yield. I'm Conrad Pzen, former Bitcoin Foundation member and now evangelist for Pzen. Look out for Twitter Spaces. I can't actually see any comments this morning, so I'm unable to say hello to the fabulous people that have joined me, nor can I see any of your questions. But do join me in a Twitter Space in the next couple of days. And I'm going to squeeze in one more broadcast before Christmas to wish everybody a, happy festive season and to answer more questions about Pzen. So for now, from the Bahamas, I will say Slanjivar and the very, very best to everybody out there.